Good afternoon, guys. How you guys doing today? It's back. I'm back at it again, and it's that time of the evening where we go streaming. So let's head right into it. We should be going into a really exciting track. It's a track that I had difficulty on before in the past, and I've somehow overcome those difficulty in the last few months driving on this track. Consider I've been driving for like 4 seasons now, so I've gotten over my heavy stress of driving on this track, and you guys will see when I head into the game and head on track. Alright, let's do it. We're going to a very famous track. This is creme de la creme of F1 tracks, where the rich of the riches live, as I should say. And one of my favorite drivers, he is from there. He currently lives there with his family. Max Verstappen currently resides in Monaco. That's where he lives. That's where his yacht is in Monaco. And yeah. Also, I believe Landon Norris lives in Monaco as well too. But that one I'm not 100% sure on. But Max Verstappen for sure I know lives in Monaco. Um, so yeah, we're gonna head right into it. So today is like 20 laps, 30 minutes practice 3, qualifier, and then the race, which is 20 laps. So with that being said, let's head right into it. And like I said before, guys, this track is a track that like I've overcome a lot of like fear, or I would say I wasn't particularly fond of this track when I started playing F1 in 2023 with the F1 23. I was not a big fan of this track at all. But with
let's get a few laps under our belt.
more times I drove on it, I've gotten used to it, and since this is like my 5th season in F1 2024, I've gotten used to driving on Monaco so much to the point like where like I'm going around corners like I've been driving this track from like day one without problems. But it's kind of growing on me a little bit as a track. It's a straight track, of course, but in my opinion, it's one of the most boring F1 race there is on the calendar in real life. And it's one of the tracks that is very hard to get overtakes on, because you see how narrow this is. Look how easy I'm going around here at Casino Corner. Like, it took me years to learn how to do this track properly. And then right here, the famous Monaco hairpin turn. That famous turn is known all over the world. And if you guys seen Cars, I believe it was 2? I think it was Cars 2, yeah, Cars 2. You'll see the famous section that all the cars pass through. Not here, but right after the fast sector going in through the fast sector and out of it. So right around here. Look how fast I have to go through here. A few years ago, I wouldn't be able to do that without panicking and driving slow. Now I'm driving through here with full throttle, full speed, like I've been doing it for years. But that's the thing about Monaco. Once you win in Monaco, you become a legend. I won this Grand Prix each season I've driven so far. So let's continue the tradition to make it a 5-time race winner around this Grand Prix. In the game, of course, not in real life, but you know. It's a very tricky track if you don't drive it properly. You can make simple mistakes, can cost you. Especially going through some of these turns right here. You can hit the barricade or hit the wall. It's a very tricky tracks, so you have to be laser focused going through some of the turns. For example, going towards a port right here is very tricky again. Here as well too. And going through the high-speed corner, very tricky coming through this corner. You have to hit it right, or if you don't, you will hit that wall really bad. So, yep, welcome to Monaco, guys, and yeah, I'm excited for this afternoon to run the race, and I'm excited to get back on it. And tomorrow is Sunday, so I will be busy tomorrow. So the next stream will be on Monday night, and guys, I'm heading to my home Grand Prix on Monday night, which is the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm excited for that. So yeah, yeah, so tonight it's a usual gameplay. Free practice is 30 minutes this time, not 60. And yeah, just gonna let's do 5 laps pit, do a race program, and then let the time slowly roll out, and then after that we will head into qualifying. Whoa, he had a really nasty lockup right there. And that's a Monaco bump I was talking about. Hit the wall at a really bad spot, you will mess up your lap completely. Thank you, Valtteri, for letting me through. Oops, yeah, I hit the wall going through that corner. Even though like I have my damages off, it's still a challenge not to hit the wall, because like I said, the Monaco Grand Prix is fast and tight corners. One simple tap on a wall can make you lose track time and make you lose a lot of speed and make your delta drop really low. See, I barely tapped the wall like at that turn, and my delta is already around 600. It's already in 600, so just a small tap can really affect you on this track. I'm so happy that I've gotten used to this track, because if not, I would have been freaking the heck out. Well, I'm happy that I got used to it. So we're gonna do 5 laps, and then on the 6th lap I will pit, head into the game, take a little small 2-3 minute break to go check on something, and then I'll be back, and then right after that I will come back and head straight to that race program, and then we'll do 2 race programs this time around, and after those 2 race programs I will let the time flow right into quality. To whoever just joined, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to Monaco, or as some other people would know it as, Monte Carlo. I'm gonna do you guys a favor, and this is a favor that I'm doing personally for me, but for you guys. I'm gonna go drive this track in cockpit mode because I've improved so much on my driving on this track. I can drive in cockpit, which I have to give myself a little bit of props for. So when I cross the line for the 6th lap, I will go into cockpit. Here we go. Check this out, guys. I'm driving Monte Carlo, or in this case Monaco, in cockpit. Something that I would have never dreamed of doing on this track, because in 2023 I always used to skip this race off the calendar. I used to add another race instead of this one because for some reason the F123 only had 23 laps, 23 races, so, and Monaco was one of them, so I took off the Monaco Grand Prix and replaced it with another race. But yeah, I'm driving Monaco in cockpit mode. I'm proud of myself for saying I can drive this like this. It's taking me years to do this. Took me about 1 year, I believe, to do this. Man, I'm very good now.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Alright. Voila. So those are the 5 laps for now. I'm gonna head out back in a few minutes time. I'm gonna head out back in a few minutes time. So I'm gonna leave the screen where you guys see the different cars on track, or whoever's on track. I'll leave that there. And then when I do get back, I will be heading straight into that race strategy, or I will see. So there's a race strategy and there's the ESR management. I will be doing that first and then the race strategy last. Since it's the easiest, I'll do this one first.
Right, so our fastest lap currently 1:12.6.
Okay, I'm at the top of the leaderboard with 5 laps and fastest lap. Okay, not bad. But welcome to Monaco, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. And I will be right back very shortly. Okay, I am back, guys. So, like I said, when I get back, we're gonna head right into doing the ERS management, and then right after that, we're going to do the race strategy, and then after that, just let the time build. There's 13 minutes in counting. I'll have to practice, so let's do it. So I'm gonna go off mic for this one, and I'm gonna come back and check the telemetry after. So enjoy the lap.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
Yep, there's roughly almost 9 minutes left. Almost, not there yet, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna head into the pits. I'm gonna head into the garage
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
and then after this, I'm gonna come right back out. Oops, I had to walk everything too fast. So with that back, I'm back here. So what I'm gonna do right now is get ready to head back out right away.
The United Kingdom has achieved more World Drivers' Championships than any other country, over a quarter of which was won by Lewis Hamilton. Let's hope we see a good effort from
I'm gonna check out the telemetry from that specific race program. The red is where I did mostly bad, and the green is where I did very good.
Okay, our best lap so far, 1 minute 12.6.
Okay, that's good. So right now the red is basically where I did bad, and the green is where I did very well. As you guys can see, going on from the start line, I did very well, and then purple is, you know, perfect. And then when I got into that corner before I hit the casino, I hit a really bad patch going down past the casino. It was really bad getting out of the casino and then going through.
The car settings screen on your multifunction display will allow you to change various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button, and you can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change.
And also here, going through the hairpin turn, it was red until I got to the tunnel, and I think going through the tunnel initially it was green, and getting in the middle of the tunnel it was red, then it came green again, and at the edge of the tunnel going through that small turn is
There are a few
green.
cars out on track. Perhaps we should get out there before it gets too busy.
So, like you just said, there's a few cars on track, so I'm going to do the race strategy now and then head right back out. So, let's do that with the remaining 7 minutes left. By the time I get out on track, the time on that is going to drop. So, wow, it put me really far back this time. Okay, let's do it. How much minutes is left?
Okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy.
There's 5 minutes left. Okay, let's do this. Roughly almost 5 minutes. If I can cross that line before the 5-minute mark, that'll be good. Perfect, I have... Now I officially have 5 minutes to do this.
5 minutes. There are 5 minutes remaining of this session.
Gotta be more careful there. All right.
Three minutes to go. 30 seconds left in the session.
And that's it. Practice is officially over. Until next time, goodbye.
Alright guys, so that was the end of practice. So now we're gonna head right into qualifier, and then the fun stuff comes later when it comes to the race. But let's head right into qualifier. So, like I said, let's head into qualifier, and then this should be the fun part.
Not all qualifying sessions are created equal. From the moment that a driver sits in a go-kart, they want to end up here, in the pit lane, ready and raring for qualifying at the Monaco Grand Prix.
First lap of Q1, here we go. Should be fun. Let's do it. Enjoy it, guys.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
That was not the best pull. That was not my best lap, to be honest with you.
3 minutes and 27 seconds.
So
Wet weather conditions.
that was definitely not my best lap.
The inaugural World Drivers' Championship was held in 1950 during the 4th season in Melbourne. Giuseppe Farina, who was driving for Hamilton Manor, took the championship with 3
But I currently do have the fastest lap right now. Hopefully I can do better. I have a really good 2 fast sectors, but 3rd sector was really bad. So with that being said, I'm just gonna have to see, and hopefully my lap improves next time. So yeah, that's it for first lap. So I'm gonna wait until everybody goes out to do their improvement lap, and I'm gonna head out to do an improvement lap on mine. So stay tuned, guys. Enjoy the rest of the footage of people doing their qualified lap.
Right, so our best lap so far, 1:12.3.
Second place in that same race.
One minute to go. You've only got 2 laps of fuel left. Okay, we can take you this lap. To view information on your current levels of tyre wear and damage, press the MFD button to open the multifunction display, and then again to cycle to the tyres and the damage screen. Right, our best lap so far, 1 minute 11.5. We're 15th in the speed trap, 284.7 per hour. The track's pretty quiet at the moment. Perhaps we should get out there, get a few laps in. 30 seconds left in the session.
Bringing back pit stops, some even approaching the sub 2 second mark.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now. Understood. Stopping this lap.
Very start of the sports, Ferrari takes the #1 spot for almost all constructor records in F1. It's the team with the most world championships won, most Grand Prix wins, most pole positions, and most race entries. Sebastian Vettel holds the F1 record for the shortest time elapsed before picking up a penalty. He was caught speeding in the pit lane in practice for the 2006 Turkish Grand Prix, almost immediately after he exited the garage, just 9 seconds into his F1 career. Max Verstappen managed to finish 81% of his races on the podium in 2021. Still though, Michael Schumacher.
Okay, mate, our best lap so far, 1:11.7. We're currently 10th in the speed trap, 285.5 kilometers per hour. If you start to suffer from oversteer, come in and let us have a look at the setup. You'll get oversteer if the rear tyres lose grip before the front. Usually this will be coming from a lack of rear downforce or an overly stiff rear suspension, but a little tweak with negative camber or toe in can also help with this.
History of F1.
With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo casino, first opened in 1863, and of course a certain road race first held in 1929. There is no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of 19 corners, so don't expect to see much overtaking here today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Henry completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Leclerc, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Stroll, Albon, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Sargent, Gasly, Joe, Ocon, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me, a real authority on all things motor racing. It's a warm welcome back to Anthony Davidson. Okay, the start, so important. Tell us about how you ace a launch off the line.
The drivers these days, they practice, practice and practice. They have rigs with them at the circuit where they can sit down with the actual steering wheel from the real car, and they've got lights that they react to. The clutch paddle is tailored around the driver's hands, around their fingers, so they can have optimum position before they start. So there's so much thought and effort that goes into getting these cars off the line.
Here we go then. The formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. As the cars come back to the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Tyre condition still looking good. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, mate, car behind is Max. They are faster than you. They are faster than you. Let them through, please. Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap, box this lap. Okay, thanks for doing that, mate. I know it's not nice, but head down and let's focus on your own race. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. We had an issue attaching the front right wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put that behind us and get back into this race. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Max is in the pits. Max in the pits. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.5 seconds. Car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done. Okay, mate, and that's Max ahead now. They're holding us up now, so let's please try and get past as soon as possible and get on with our race. Push, push. quite get what we needed out of that, I'm afraid, but don't worry about it. There's a long way to go. Chin up, and let's focus till the end. The rain's a few lap outs yet, but it is coming, so be careful. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
They've done it then. They've won here in Monaco with an emphatic performance and a victory they can be proud of for years to come.
And what a drive today. Obviously keeps their championship hopes alive. And it's a warning sign, isn't it, for the rest of the competition. They're not going down without a fight. I loved what I saw out there today from them. And hopefully they can now get on a roll and continue this progression through the rest of the year.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Well, that certainly was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.